So welcome back, as I am going back to the North Manor. I think I have everything I need. Do I have everything I need? I could pick up these herbs, actually. So that's what I was thinking about. Yeah, I need to pick up these sanity items. All of these healing items, basically, before I move on. This is the Peak Choco. And I think that's a wire. But I would like to pick up these herbs, because there's really going to be nothing else that I need to pick up, aside from maybe one thing, but it doesn't hurt to have these things with me. So, all things considered, I could also leave the annex keys there, because I shouldn't need them anywhere else. That said, let me think for a moment. Do I even have things equipped? Also, I need to check to see if my volume is okay. So, but we'll get back into it. Yeah, Silver Rapier, which I think is the best thing I have, so we're gonna do this. Godo has the axe on because his handgun ran out of bullets. And Sachi has the machete for another crazed crow. And they do no damage to Godo. Good. Although they are fast, so crows will probably always outspeed you unless your dexterity is insanely high. But if your dexterity is insanely high, maybe there is a way to one-shot them still, but probably not with the way I set my stats up. So we're going to axe the zombie, and hopefully he one-shots that, because the MC will one-shot the orb, and the zombie doesn't have more than 20-ish HP. I want to say 20 HP, but I could be wrong. And so we have to backtrack over here for a moment. Coughing. The floor. Hello! Where did Daiki guys go? I hope they're safe. So, when you see things like name guys, I feel like that's the translation, whoever translated it. They were translating name Tachi. So, in Japanese, you would say like Hitotachi or Sachi Tachi, Nina Tachi, Godo Tachi, which is what you see at the end of battle as well, because it's the way of saying everyone in the group. So when she says Daigi guys, she probably was said probably the way that they programmed the game was it said name Tachi, because you could have Daiki in your party, and so they would probably say a different name. So Daiki Tachi, but then it was translated to guys because that's the only way to. That makes it nicer to. There's a hidden path or somewhere there, but I can't remember how to get it there. But yeah, that's why it can't be. If I were to think of a way to, I'd have to think. I'd probably think of that while I'm going through. I mean, there's nothing better to think about, right? So, how would you translate that in a way that's nice for it? Because it's not just a translation issue. It's technically or a design problem. There are lights in this game. Also, it feels mysterious. That's not what she said, but I was thinking about translation stuff. So, again, you have name Tachi, which means which also includes here in battle. So, how would you? I think there was a way I thought up of, but I don't know if it fit because I'd never used this engine to create a game, I should say. So Nina guys have survived. That should say something like Nina Tachi. In fact, it does say that because I've played the other ones that in AlchemyBlue's repertoire that I'm allowed to talk about. I feel, and they say name Tachi. So. I mean, you could just say name survived in that case, but again, you would have to be consistent across even dialogue, because dialogue, it says name of person who's not in your party. It probably checks for whoever's not in your party, obviously, and then it inserts them into the dialogue, and then they add Tachi, because that's something you can always add in Japanese. It's not as great in English because it doesn't. For English speakers. Name guys to mention a group of people doesn't really make as much sense, but do I have space in my inventory? Let's hold on for a second. I don't. Don't I have medical adhesive somewhere? I have ointment. Actually, I could. No. What do I want to do? Well, I do have adhesive plasters. So we'll give one of these to Sachi. That should, that overhealed her. But the point is that I have space. And again, you don't need to be too min-max efficient with these things, so that is why I didn't mind the... medical adhesives you'll find a lot of. You'll definitely have enough healing items on normal difficulty. Not really a spoiler, that's kind of expected. to survive. And medical adhesive is something that you'd probably use outside of battle. So I'm mainly getting this to increase the amount of points I get for the next playthrough. Oh, I do need the rope. I hope I have the rope. So this is where I use it. I don't have the rope, so back into the water I go. Sorry, MC! And sorry for taking up your time, but I can at least talk about other things. So that's the other... I think... Is that the only other rope use? I felt like there may have... I don't know if it's 2 or 3, basically. So we'll find out if I happen to need it again. But, yeah, whoever has the rope, give me the rope, please. So... give Nina the rope. That means Nina needs to give something away. Probably the juice. I still want to be able to hold on to stuff, even though I'm about to drop things into the main quote-unquote item box, end quote. Well, I said quote-unquote, but it doesn't. Well, grammatically, oh my goodness, it doesn't make as much sense unless you don't know where I'm ending the quote. So. Onto the land I go, and I think here I can leave the rope, but I'm going to take it back just for the sake of having it. I really shouldn't need it, but... And I'll do this just to be sure, but... So, magic stone, and I think this is the book? Or is this just the magic stone? Oh, it's just a rock. Never mind, we're dropping this. Well, I was completely wrong. I thought this is a book location. Guess I'm wrong. I still want the magic stone. It'll do me some good, because I plan to, not really a spoiler, because you're going to see me do it, but Sachi is going to be using magic, and magic stones, I think there are only 3, and then an enemy drops another MP healing item, but you usually take more damage, unless, of course, you know you have enough healing items. I guess the only, one of the few circumstances, if the only circumstance, where you can, what am I trying to say here? It makes sense to get that item. So it's a grindable item, so technically you have... theoretically you have infinite MP. However, practically you don't because, again, the way to get it requires you to be in a battle that will probably make you lose a lot of HP and or sanity. So, you know. That said, but yeah, Sachi will be using a spell. So she'll need MP, because without it, she will not... She definitely... Well, obviously, she gets more uses out of it. But the most important thing is that I think it allows her to do one more spell, as opposed to... If she's using certain spells, of course. Am I really... What? Wait, what? I thought I was supposed to immediately... Well, we're going to find out. Well, we're going to do this, then. Yeah. Oh, maybe I was supposed to go the other way. Well, let's see. Let's see. So we'll go in here first. What is this place? Is it some sort of facility? Godo ellipses. And then I think we go back up here. Yeah, I think I made a mistake. So, let's go here. I have a bad feeling about this fog. More ... but a stern face, Godo. And yeah, here we go. So, this is your hide-and-seek sequence. It's still summer. Ha ha ha! Nina, I don't think he's talking about the flowers. Encounter begin! Be careful, Nina. I have a really bad feeling about this. Is that you, Sakura? Is it? Well, let's find out, because I don't think we ever get an answer here. But, we do need to run, so, I don't think anyone has hide. Not that we would really need it, but, oof. No! Yeah, we're... I understand. Let's get out of here. I think one time I made the mistake of, yeah, I made the mistake... No, I'm not going to listen to you, Godo. I made the mistake of trying to use a fire extinguisher because I'm like, oh, it's a guaranteed escape. The problem is that if you're slower than the, whatever is chasing you right here, then, yeah, it's going to act first, and then you're not going to use it. And then you'll use it after when you've probably already taken damage, so... Usually this is the place you hide, but I think I've seen someone get caught before, so... We'll find out. Thank God we weren't found. 2 periods. It seems that we made it, but what was that? And so here we're going to get into a cutscene, and we'll let it rock. I might narrate. Yeah, hey! Daiki, Yurei, are you guys okay? Hell no, we were seriously in deep trouble. Did something happen to you too? Yeah, a black serpent mask-like thing chased after us. Seriously? We had a black thing chase us too. Regarding that, I need to speak to you guys. Why don't we go upstairs? It's safer than here. Why don't we all just stay together? But, you know, we'll see why, I guess, technically. First of all, let me apologize. About how you we won't forgive. About what? It's most likely that I'm a detective and I was chasing after a dangerous criminal was a lie. Well, really? Who are you, mister? I'm a member of this facility, DDC, Digging Ditches Corporated. It stands for Different Dimension Contact, actually. In other words, contact with the spirit world. Yeah, contact with the spirit world. That's very profound. What were you trying to do, tricking us into coming here? Yeah, if we knew we could have stayed put in the North Manor, said everyone who wanted to go. That's not true, guys. Daiki was the one who proposed to split into 2 groups. And we came here by our own choice, right? It's not right to accuse Mr. Godo of tricking us into coming here. Sorry, after being chased by that thing, I was panicking. Me too. Sorry, Mr. Godo. No, if I told the truth from the beginning, this wouldn't have happened. I apologize. Ugh, my legs! Let's go. Please tell us the truth. No joke answer. Sadness. Understood. Let's get to the story. The DDC was originally an organization doing research on the sixth sense of humans. The facilities used to be in a public area and not underground. I saw it on some pamphlets. The Sixth Sense? That movie was great. The ability to sense ghosts or intuition. Senses unexplained by the 5 senses. It's called the Sixth Sense, and it's said all creatures unconsciously have it, to some degree. That sounds cool. If you had the ability to see ghosts, you'd see things you don't want to see. I kind of want to be able to see them, maybe talk to them. They say these abilities lessen with the development of civilization. They speculated that by consciously controlling your sixth sense, it would be possible to predict and prevent calamities and disasters before they happen. Hey, the second game. Wow, that's amazing. The second game is, yeah, well, I'll talk about that when we get there. Is that even truly possible? I can't answer that. However, I did hear that the research was at a standstill. That's not surprising. The sixth sense is like psychic abilities. It's not something that can easily be figured out, if at all. I agree. An incident at this manor happened when the research was at a standstill. Incident? The incident where over 10 women were massacred. Massacred? That's horrible. If I remember correctly, it was an indiscriminate killing only targeting woman in 1972. That's what the public was told. The culprit was the manor head, Brad Valentine. Oh, they say that Brad was running an experiment in the manor basement, which is what we saw in the annex building. Question mark? Experiment? An experiment concerning contact with the spirit world. End quote. Is it related to the DDC? Oh, is this manor? It's the annex we were just investigating. That's why there was a magic circle in the basement, says Sachi. Anyways, Brad was killing women for his research. Killing for research? To contact the spirit world, he was offering women as blood sacrifices as part of the ritual. That's awful. Hidoi desu. What a terrible thing to do. It seems that the experiment almost had results, but was interrupted by police investigations. With the discovery of the basement, Brad was arrested and the case closed. But the culprit's name in the research was never made public. That's because with pressure from the organization, the information was altered. Wow, cover-ups really occur. That's not a good thing, though. No, but information alteration happens in everyday life, too. Really? A common example would be trends, although not all of them. I see. So this ka. It's not always a bad thing, though. Sometimes cover-ups are used to prevent mass panic. Gotcha. Games. Covering this up was probably easy for the organization being backed by the government. The government backing up Sixth Sense research? I see no merit. Records show that the organization was started up shortly after the war. DDC, right? It was recorded that in the beginning they were studying Feng Shui. Feng Shui is like fortune-telling, right? They seem similar at a glance, but they're actually quite different. Not that I'm an expert. But I see why it would be government-backed. From ancient times, Japan has believed in these unseen powers. A famous example would be the Heian-kyo, or also known as Kyoto's capital. Heian-kyo. The Japanese capital, they moved to Kyoto in 794, right? In 794. How do you say that? Gosh dang it. The roads that are laid out based on the game Go board exist to this day. Huh? I read that. Sorry. Sorry, AlchemyBlue. It is said that Kyoto's development is thanks to Feng Shui. Even in modern times, many public buildings are built based on Feng Shui. It is said the Imperial Palace is protected by it. I didn't know Feng Shui was so extraordinary. No wonder why the government was eyeing the organization. I'm not quite sure regarding that issue, so I can't say you're wrong either. As for why the information altering occurred, it's heavily connected to Brad's research. Is it because the public will panic if the information got out there? No, even if it was released, it wouldn't be understood, even laughed at as a result. I guess so. They just think he's crazy. They would just think he's crazy. The real reason there was a cover-up was so the organization could continue Brad's research. What? I see how it is. Although I'm not sure why they continued the research, the organization turned to DDC and they secretly gathered people to work for the lab. I too was transferred here 4 years ago, endorsed by my higher-up. This underground facility was also made around the same time, and a year ago, February 22nd, 2001, is when everything started, specifically on that date, but I understand why it needs to be that way. Hi. I have a daughter named Sakura. She's about to enter middle school. I had lost my wife, Sumide. I'll just say it. When I have the re's, it's hard for me to say the r's in an English accent. 3 years ago, Sumide 3 years ago. All my words. So I've been lovingly raising my daughter as a single dad. That day, February 22nd, was Sakura's birthday, and I promised to show her her mom's research. Her mom, Sumide, had been studying plants in the DDC labs. It was mainly for medical purposes, but they also genetically modified flowers. I showed Sakura an especially successful result of the genetically modified flower. We took pictures and Sakura seemed to be enjoying herself, but... Also, that ties into some lore that I should probably remember about later on. But that day, the research that was at a standstill made progress, and I left her alone. Hey Dad, tell me more about Mom. Dad! I'm busy with work, so please keep it down. Stupid Dad! Anger. Sakura? Spooky ghost! It's always like this. Last birthday you didn't come home either because of work. Mom, I want to see you again. Shall I reunite you two? What? Who? Gray Zone. The next day, the higher-ups informed me that Sakura would be the first participant of a project. Obviously, I refused, but Sakura had a certain essence. With the essence, the project was bound to succeed. Succumbing to those words, I allowed Sakura's participation in the project. The project progressed smoothly and was just one step away until results could be seen. The fateful day was on Sakura's birthday, just half a year back, February 22nd, 2002. To make contact, we opened a hole in the space and connected the worlds temporarily. To prevent otherworldly creatures from entering our world, we made a filtering defense system. But that filter had disappeared. The logs showed that the filter had been tampered with. Otherworldly creatures and Miasma poured in at once, and there was nothing we could do. With the handgun from storage, I looked for Sakura, but the creatures were overpowering. I had no choice but to escape and leave Sakura behind. Sadness. The facility went under emergency lockdown containing the miasma and the creatures. However, only a handful of us were able to escape. The government put us under surveillance so that information isn't leaked. I'm no exception. I'm here today because I couldn't stop thinking about Sakura. I know she probably isn't alive, but I wanted any kind reminder of her. I can't continue living without finding some sort of clue about her. That's all I have to say. I'm sorry I got everyone involved. How did you get here? Indeed, if you were under surveillance, you wouldn't be able to come here. Being that it's been half a year already, I've been under less scrutiny, so I use that to my advantage. A lot of time has passed since the incident, unless that was someone else saying that. Who caused the incident? I was curious about that too, says Mamoru. Couldn't you figure it out from the operation log? There should have been a log and even a voice recording, but right at that moment, the machine malfunctioned and the recording was distorted. The timing was too convenient. What caused the machine to malfunction? It's unknown. Why an underground lab? Because it's cool. To hide it from view. It was a top secret project. We rented out the manor for a special price, with the condition stating they would keep quiet about the basement. Indeed, if people were living in the manor, no one would suspect an underground laboratory. So what should we do from here? Let's go home, defeat that black thing. Let's look for Sakura. Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's find her, says Daiki. I'd like to agree, but honestly, Yurie's scared of ghosts, so that's why she's not in my party. I'm against it, says Mamoru. Even if I had infinite lives, which you do, it would be enough to look for her. Me too, double O's, says Sachi. I don't think we'd make a difference if we went. Yeah, sure you would. You're one of the only ones who can cast spells here. Yes, it's too dangerous, says Godo. I appreciate the thought, but you should go home. Nah, man. Mr. Godo, aren't you coming to escape too? I can't go home, not until I find a clue about Sakura. You know how the ghost girl appears sometimes? Maybe that's Sakura. Even if she got in our way and warped into that black thing. She's turned into a malevolent ghost. I hear it's easy to become a malevolent ghost if you died in a terrible way. Think about Mr. Godo, will you? That was insensitive. No, what you're saying might very much be true. What? It was identical to Sakura. Even the clothes were the same, before it morphed into the black thing. Assuming that's true, what was that black creature then? It's probably influenced by the miasma. It's been mentioned before, but what's miasma? The word has been used from ancient times, and it means polluted air. Although how it's used here is probably describing something totally different. Which in Japanese, to be fair, there's some dictionaries that I've looked into that are, they're not maintained, but I couldn't find that word in Japanese. Yes, although named based on the definition. Here, the miasma is referring to the spirit realm air in the game. Was it that purple mist? Yes, otherworldly creatures can only exist where there is miasma. So it's equivalent to our oxygen. Exactly, so if we conceal the miasma, we also seal in the otherworldly creatures. Does it have effects like, say, bugs becoming huge? Research has confirmed that it causes gigantism. I said that right? Ugh, seriously? Seriously? So miasma is overflowing into the manor above. It is a vapor, so even a slight crack would let it out. Also, what happens when people inhale the miasma? With the lab mice, we found that the higher the dose of miasma, the more effects to the body. No, I breathed in quite a lot. I inhaled a bunch too. I don't know what effects it has on people, but you should go home as soon as possible. Let's go home already then. Now let's stop the miasma. Hell yeah! I was thinking the same thing, Nina. It's possible to contain the miasma, but it's too dangerous. Too dangerous. But if we leave it this way, more could leak out, right? And the world could be destroyed. That's true, but... Can't the government do something? Yeah, like the military. Oh, probably not, you naive fools. Same with the police, but they won't spring into action unless something happens. Plus, it's a top-secret project, so they can't move haphazardly. There's that, but the higher-ups think they've already completely sealed off the miasma. They wouldn't trust a mere researcher like me, even though I'm cool and can shoot this gun and have the firearm skill. So we have to do something, says Daiki. Well, the miasma will be contained. We'll find Sakura. There's only good things about it. Don't make it sound so simple, you simple idiot. It's very you, Daiki. If we get to the core of this, what Daiki said is ultimately correct. If we leave it this way, the miasma will eventually make it above ground. But it's also not something we ordinary folk can solve either. Hey, mister, don't you have a weapon or something? Well, it's not nothing, but you do have something. I thought about using it after you guys left, but let's use it too, like that gun. Fine, but it's not a weapon. Goes over to a safe. It's safe over there with the save point and a green herb. And a fire extinguisher next to me. What's this? It's an amulet imbued with an essence. It'll protect you against the miasma. You keep mentioning this essence, but what is this essence exactly? To put it simply, it gives you the ability to catch very specific wavelengths. We call it the Cthulhu essence. Without this essence, you cannot make contact with the spirit realm. And Sakura had that essence. Yes. Does the amulet work against that black thing? In our research, it showed an effect against otherworldly creatures. Kind of like a bug repellent? It aids us in reducing the amount of interference from otherworldly creatures. So that means... It means we amplify the damage we cause to otherworldly creatures, while decreasing the damage they cause. Thank you for that in-game help tip. I see, that's easy to understand. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's something. Too bad it wasn't a gun. Hey, Daiki, are you serious about this? Duh, I'm only ever serious. Fine, then I'll help too. Yurie? Question mark? Exclamation mark? What else am I supposed to do? I can't leave Daiki by himself. He just jumps into holes. Having a karate weeb like you is reassuring. I don't know if my karate will have any effect on ghosts and otherworldly creatures, though. Are you two out of your minds? You could die, you know. If the miasma is leaking, we're gonna die sooner or later, right? Though I don't plan to die at all. I'd rather face it now than face it as an adult, or 6 months, because that's how long it would take for the miasma to kill us all. True, it's harder to move around freely once you're part of society. Come on, Sachi and MC, it'll be a cinch if everyone goes. Ha ha ha, says Sachi. You're very you, no matter the situation, Daiki. What's that supposed to mean? I'm actually afraid, but count me in. I'll go too. Are you sure? I have my pride. I can't leave behind you underage kids while I run away alone. But let's have Mr. Godo make the call since he's the oldest and most qualified out of us. I shouldn't be saying this, but it's honestly a big help. I want to find Sakura, but I'd also like to steal off the miasma. As a researcher involved in this, it's my duty to take responsibility for it. So what can we do to stop the miasma? On the top floor, the 5th floor, there's a device connecting the realms. We must turn it off. If the device is stopped, the remaining miasma should also dissipate in time. Can't we operate it remotely? We tried it on the day of the incident, but it didn't stop for some reason. Without knowing what went wrong with it, there's no choice but to see the device in person. Excuse me, but can we take a bit of a rest? Are you okay, Mamoru? It's nothing, just feeling a bit sick. Might be the effect of the miasma. It'd be good to rest up so that you can only have 3 party members with you. Got it. We only need 3 party members, so you guys go ahead. The amulet works up to a 5-meter radius, but as long as you have it in your inventory, you'll be fine. Also, he's going to give us the black key card to unlock every door in this building. It excludes the elevators because you need a passcode from each floor to get them. The passcode is different from each floor, and each sector head was in charge of them. My wife is in charge of the plant floor, I believe. I don't know what they are, but there must be hints. Investigate every suspicious thing and floor to look for them. Once you know the password, use the elevator card reader to read the card key. Then the passcode entry screen will appear. Here, Nina. Acquired Anubis Extra. Here's important information regarding the investigation. Make sure you read it. Whatever you do, don't force yourself. Giving up takes courage too. Don't worry about me. So, we've reached pretty much the late game. Hey, Nina. It's going to be more dangerous from here on out, so let's make sure to communicate and go carefully. You can talk to your party members in case you save the game and stop playing for months and then come back for some reason. While traveling, talk to Godo as well. If he's already in your party, he'll let you know what to do. So, these should be the mansion keys, I believe. That we need the black card key, and we pick up the amulet, but we have too much space, so really this is going to be the video, and by the time, well, no, we'll do this here now. So, this section is just going to be me dropping a bunch of stuff. Oh, I didn't want to drop it there, but yeah, so basically this room, if nothing else, here's kind of the advice for this game is that this room is pretty much, if not the hallway outside, should be your storage, basically. If you're comfortable with, I won't say that. So, we're going to put all this stuff down. That way I can be a bit more, I can organize everything and see what I really want. Because you really don't, in my opinion, you don't really need too much. Keep a bandage. Keep one of each healing item. If you want to be really safe, though, just keep an HP healing item on each character. 1 sanity item on each character. And then a bandage on 1 character somewhere. It's not going to be the worst thing in the world if, for the bandage, if for some reason you start bleeding. But, you save, you prevent yourself from taking more damage is basically what I want to say. So, I'm going to keep all my key items that I don't need up here. Let me see. Juice, bandage. notebook, fried chickies, paint away patch, magic rope, magic stone, rope. So I'm gonna put the magic stone down for now because I don't have any spells that I need. The rope can go up here too. I probably won't need it anymore because I'm just gonna rush through to the ending in the next video. And yeah. Also, I know that I haven't used the notebook much. I really should use it more often, but since I'm going, no, I'll keep it on me because as I'm traveling, I want to make sure bad things don't happen. So, that said, we're gonna make sure we have everything in order. So, as promised, I'll keep one green herb on Nina. No, I'm gonna be a bit more confident and keep just one sanity healing item on Godo alone. And we should be okay. The bandage I'll give to Nina because she's the I think she's the fastest in my party, right? Yeah. And Sachi will keep... No, we'll drop the first aid kit. No, we'll keep it on her. No, we'll drop the first aid kit. Whoops. And we'll keep the weapons and stuff because that's all really equipment. I think here is either stab-proof vest or a pack. Let's find out. Yeah, stab-proof vest. You should be getting enough to... so that everyone is wearing some kind of defensive item as well. If you don't have that by the end of the game for some reason, and you're watching this video and you want to play through the whole game, everyone should have at least one weapon and one defensive weapon, not including things like bags that increase your inventory size. But you know, and then the blue card key, you don't need this until the very end of the game anyway. So yeah, something like this is not abnormal, and we'll look through the Anubis extra before we finish this off. Supplement issue. Ladies and gents, we go over bases, or storage places, or item boxes. Bases are an extremely important component for investigating. You can even say it's the deciding factor between life or death while exploring. You have to unwillingly use an item because your pack is full. You've suffered through a lot of damage because you get mauled by an encounter. But if you have a base, it's fine. At the base, you can explore while leaving unnecessary items, and items are stored in an organized manner. There's nothing better than this. Since items are sorted, it's easier to prevent careless use. Since items are not being used, there's a surplus of items. Therefore, your health will have more of a buffer. Choosing items for an area not yet explored can be difficult. There's fear of not knowing what's out there. That's why for investigations, you have this video so that I can tell you what you need. RPGs have inns. It's kind of the same thing, kind of. You'd assume the base would be in a safe spot, but you could also choose to make it in a dangerous area, like in the middle of a hallway. But there's a big risk you'd run into monsters while you're moving around 2 or 3 spaces and picking up and dropping items. By the way, do you know how to use the items? Those who aren't confident should immediately check on the explanations of items if you don't know how to use them. You can even hit the description from the items in your inventory to see more information. Not only is keeping track of your items key and where they are if you drop them, but also using them appropriately will help you survive. Remember this. Thank you. So, yeah, not really too much of the unknown if you're watching this video for some reason, but again, that'll be the end for now. If you'd like to support me, thank you, and thank you for watching.